All right, well, we just traded Stanley Cup champion Mitch Marner. Well, Paulie, you would be a very, very rich man. Title is God reminds us a couple episodes ago I said, and I quote, I am planning on winning the cup on Saturday, then having a Stanley Cup parade. Well, you weren't lying. Absolutely, baby. Stanley Cup champions. Things you love to see. That's another dollar for you, Paulie. Rack it up. What's going on, guys? And welcome back to your Stanley Cup champion, Quebec Nordiques. I had a plan for GM week and thankfully it worked out, and oh my god, did it ever work out. We got rid of the Bruins in 5 games. We got rid of Ottawa in 5 games. We got rid of Carolina in, you guessed it, 5 games, and then the Arizona Coyotes took us to 6, but we had the dream team this year. Literally the dream team, the perfect squad, and we won the Stanley Cup. We succeeded with our mission. I didn't even think of this either, but Augie, he says, imagine winning the Stanley Cup with your brother. Congrats to the Suzuki brothers and all the team. Hashtag Tucker the legend. That's right, Nick Suzuki and Ryan, Stanley Cup champions. That's so awesome. A memory that'll never be forgotten. 24-year-old Ryan Suzuki and 25-year-old Nick Suzuki. They grew up together playing road hockey, and now look at them, Stanley Cup champions as brothers. Has that ever happened? I'm sure it has, just off the top of my head. Any brothers won the Stanley Cup together, like on the same team? I can't remember a time. I mean, the first thing that comes to mind is the Sedin twins, but we all know what happened in 2011. Maybe a Sutter? Maybe there's one that's just not coming to mind, but can someone do some research and let me know in the comments? I can't think off the top of my head any time that's happened. I'm just thinking of all the brothers in the NHL, and I mean, to win a Stanley Cup is hard enough, let alone the chances of your brother being on the same team. It's kind of crazy. Now, there was some craziness in the last episode. We ended up beating the Ottawa Senators 10-4, and then we did the exact same thing in the Stanley Cup Finals in game number 6. We went ahead and put up a 10 spot. You see it here. We did 10-4 on Sunday the 4th, and then a little over a month later, and then just under a month later, on June the 5th, we went ahead and won the Stanley Cup with a 10-5 victory. Now, Liam, he points out that Arizona pulled their 91 overall goalie for a 67 overall goalie and gave up 5 goals in 5 minutes. We had a 7-goal. Let me just repeat that. A 7-goal third period to win the Stanley Cup. That's got to be one of the craziest runs ever. 61-17-4. What a year it was. But lost in all of this, Tig in the comments, he says, may I remember that Phil Kessel now has another ring as a coach. 3-time Stanley Cup champion. Phil the thrill, hot dog eating, male pattern baldness looking ass Kessel has 3 Stanley Cup rings. I can sit here and talk about how much I love this team, but at the end of the day, we have to get back to work. Now, I gave a few days off after GM week for everyone to catch up. I know not everyone can watch the episodes every single day, and there was a lot over the past 2 weeks, so I took 3 or 4 days to let everyone catch up on all the episodes. I think everyone is almost all caught up. Now, we have a very, very, very important offseason ahead of us. $48 million we have to spend. All right, so let's do some math here. I'm going to add up Matthew Barzal, Morgan Riley, Mahalik, Raymond, Kaliev, everyone we have to sign, and that's without me, bargaining at all. I'm going to see how much that is, because I really can't see us keeping everyone. Unfortunately, it happens with Stanley Cup teams. They fall apart. You look at Chicago, they lost Andrew Ladd, Dustin Byfuglien. They lost those guys a year after they won the Cup. So, Antti Niemi as well. So, hopefully it doesn't happen too bad to us, but with only $48 million and a lot of big names to sign, it's not looking good. So I'm not even at Tom Wilson yet. That's just only Kaliev, Raymond, Mahalik, Morgan Riley, and Matthew Barzal. just from what they want, it's already at $50 million. And, well, we only have 48.6. So with that being said, I mean, if you look at Morgan Riley here, he wants $13 million. Is that even obtainable? I like the 3-year aspect, but man, he's wanting a lot of money. So the person that comes to mind, the player that comes to mind, unfortunately, is Mitch Marner. Now, going into this year, I kind of had him as not really a rental, but there was always that thought that, you know what, we're a cap team. We really are going to be struggling here. And if I can free up $11 million and still, like, it's not like we will have that hole completely empty because the Milkman can come up, Lucas Raymond, Arthur Kaliev, either one of these guys can hop on the first line. I mean, what team has what, 5 90 overall players? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then 2 89s? And these 89s aren't even playing on the first line. It's just crazy. So I think we're going to have to trade Mitch Marner, and I don't want to do it because he was so good with Conrad last year. And I said he had a career high 93 points, but you guys let me know that is not the career high. There's so many comments saying, no, Mitch Marner had 94. I apologize. I know I just skipped over it. My bad. But he was great for us, well over a point per game. He's a Stanley Cup champion. I just think in this cap world right now, I'd rather have Mahalik over Mitch Marner, and that's just me being honest. We got a comment here from Scores. He says, make sure you hold on to the players you actually care about instead of just trying to win. It's awesome seeing a player you drafted retire on the same team. Now, obviously, we can't say that for Mahalik because we traded for him, but I get what you're saying. I mean, it kind of goes with Lucas Raymond and as well with our goaltenders. That $50 million doesn't even count for the goalies. So I think it's basically a no-brainer to, unfortunately, trade Mitch Marner. It was great. I mean, we had him. He won. He scored a lot of points for us. But even then, at the $11 million mark, we're still going to be at the cap ceiling. So we are going to trade him. It's going to be at the draft. We could trade him for a very high pick. That's something I'm excited about. Let's see who's on the draft class here. Let's see who's scouted to go. Maybe not number 1. I mean, Remo Nitamaki. He could be pretty good. A defenseman, hey? Okay. All right. I mean, we could trade Mitch Marner for the first overall pick, and that's not really a super unrealistic thing. Or Ulf Hogland. We got Artem Radulov, we got Mayarov, and then Paul Pody. I think if we're going to trade a player of Mitch Marner's caliber, we're going to need something back, and I think getting a stud defenseman, I mean, once Morgan Riley is all said and done, after his next contract is going to be 34, we could bring a nice Finnish defenseman to the team. I think we should trade Mitch Marner for the first overall pick. Now, who has the first overall pick? So we are going to put Marner on the trade block. I think everyone knows it's coming. I'm a big Mitch Marner fan. It's not that I want to get rid of him. I'd rather have our 2 goalies than have 1 Mitch Marner. I'd rather have our starting goalie and Mahalik than 1 Mitch Marner. So we got to do this quick. We got to see if the New Jersey Devils, oh man, they don't need another first overall pick. This makes sense. They got Hughes, they got Heischer. Add up the first overall picks. Just real quick here, let's just see. They have Zane Sakic, Jack Hughes, Atu Ratti. They have a stud defenseman already in this Hamilton kid who was picked, what, 3rd overall? They got all the studs like Shane Wright, Nico Heischer, Jack Hughes, Taylor Hall. They don't need anyone else. They do probably need a goalie though, but I'm not trading one of our starters. So we got to do this right now if we're going to do it. I think we should just rip the Band-Aid off. Mitch Marner going to play with Taylor Hall. Oh my god. They don't really have any prospects that I like, so I'm just going to go ahead and see if I can get another draft pick here. Give me Colorado's 3rd. Why not? Give me a little bit more. Mitch Marner for the first overall pick. Trade accepted. I am happy to accept this proposal on behalf of the New Jersey Devils, and we consider it a done deal. All right, well, we just traded Stanley Cup champion Mitch Marner. Now, I just want to mention that we basically turned Sammy Blais and a nothing prospect into Mitch Marner, into a Stanley Cup, into a first overall pick. Now, we're going to pick that defenseman. If you trade away a player like Mitch Marner, you're going to want the return to be big. I mean, we could have went ahead and sent him back to Toronto for the 3rd overall pick, whatever, but I wasn't going to do that. I really wanted the first overall pick to pick that defenseman. there's no reason for me to go ahead and get a player who's making $6 or $7 or $8 million just to get that little bit of a cap relief. I'd rather have the 11.7 off the books, and then that's going to make our re-sign stage a little bit easier, but also still very difficult. So with the first overall pick, let's go ahead and make our selection. The Quebec Nordiques would like to thank the City of Columbus for hosting the NHL entry draft and all their hospitality. We'd also like to send our thank you out to everyone who's been congratulating us on our Stanley Cup victory. Boo! Boo! With our newly acquired first overall selection, we are extremely proud to select from the Malmo Redhawks of the SHL, Raimo Niittymaki. Oh man, I hope this guy's good. I hope he's good, and he's medium franchise. Let's go! Two-way defenseman, 79 overall. One more time, things you love to see. This guy's NHL ready. Okay, so that means that there's someone on our defensive core that's going to go bye-bye, and that's good news for us because that's more cap relief. And this is me just trying to kind of beat the system a little bit. I mean, getting players on their entry level gives us that 3-year window. We did it with Mahalik, and wow, Raimo Niittymaki. Welcome to Quebec, baby. I'm going to need a nickname for this guy ASAP. We're gonna have Nasty Nas and Niittymaki as a 1-2 pair. Whew, watch out world. His shooting category is pretty good. His senses is really nice. His skating is what's really sets him apart. 4 stars already. Yeah, this guy's going to be nasty. Only 17 years old. Medium franchise. God damn. All right, so both teams win there, that's for sure. New Jersey gets a stud player in their prime, coming off a Stanley Cup. And we get a player who I guess will be comparable to Rasmus Dahlin. Can you guys agree with that? That's kind of my comparison to him. Maybe not medium franchise for Dahlin. I don't know. Maybe. Anyways, the LA Kings select Hoogland, who is 78 overall medium elite. Who do the Toronto Maple Leafs get? They get Radulov, 72 overall medium elite sniper. Not bad at all, not bad. Mayarov, he's a 72 overall medium elite sniper. There you go. Moving on to the Islanders, they pick Pody, who's 77. Damn, so he could have easily went 3rd overall, but going to number 6, the Colorado Avalanche pick John Madden. Football! Not John, Jalen Madden. There you go, 63. That's not a great pick. Edmonton, don't screw this up, 65. I know there's going to be like a 74 overall player here taken 10th or 11th overall. Maybe not. Maybe it's not that deep of a draft, but we got a medium franchise defenseman. Holy. Anyways, move on to pick number 32. Obviously, we are the last pick because I'll remind you one more time, Stanley Cup champions. Now, what do we need here? Picked a defenseman. We're probably going to go with a forward here. Spike. Ooh, we could have 2 Spikes on the same team. Spike Helm and Spike Agostinho. And he's actually from the Malmo Redhawks as well. We just picked his teammate number 1 overall, so let's pick him number 32nd. Spike. Love that name. So we picked Niittymaki from the Redhawks, number 1. And then 31 picks later, we picked Agostinho, 58 medium top 9. It's not super great, not fantastic. What do we miss out on here? Nothing super crazy. 69th overall, nice. Oh, sorry, this is in the 3rd round, so I completely skipped around here. Could go with, let's go with a Russian winger. 6'4", 206. He's a big boy. 69th overall. Let's go with a big Russian winger here. He's a 2-way forward. Oleg. Here you go, buddy. Let's see what you're looking like. And he's 62, medium top 9. So what did we miss out on in the 2nd round? That's what I'm thinking here. So our guy was 58 overall. We could have went with this guy, low elite. Ooh, Burke was low elite, 64. 68 for Couture. Maybe we didn't make the best selection. 65. Ooh, Chistov. Damn. Yeah, maybe we screwed up a little bit with that pick, but he was rated pretty high. Well, you know what? Whatever. It's all good. We got ourselves a franchise defenseman, so I can't really complain that much. 128. Let's go ahead and make our selection here. Picked a forward, picked a defenseman. Might as well pick a goalie, or we could go with the confirmed medium top 9 and skip on on Zachary Chen, who looks really good. You know what? I'm going to play it safe here. We're going to pick the confirmed medium top 9, and then we'll see what Chen is looking like here. So 4th round, what is that guy looking like? He's 56, medium top 9. And what about the goalie Chen? Where is he taken? Medium starter, 57. So it's not terrible. It's not bad. It's all right. We're going to go ahead and take advantage of the fact that Fog of War is not on and pick a Finn, 160th overall, Pasi Shivanen, who's 19 years old, confirmed low elite, so he could be another Hoivanen real quick. And he is, real quick, 5th round, going all the way to the back, 67 low elite, things you love to see. I thought I saw a franchise goalie, but that was high French starter, so it's not bad. We have a few more picks here, 180, this is our 6th, and then of course we have our 7th. So at this point in the game, I don't really know who I'm going to take. Let's focus on a 20-year-old here. Mason Raffle, 20 years old. Let's go ahead and select Joe. What are you looking like? He's 57, medium, bottom 6. It's not great. It's not fantastic. The last pick, 192nd overall in the NHL draft. Nicholas McGinnis, that's our guy. There you go, 6'4", big goalie out of Sherbrooke. Oh, wait a minute, I'm dumb. That wasn't the last pick. That was the last pick in the 6th round. Okay, that's my bad. I'm getting ahead of myself here. Medium backup 55, it's not bad. This should be the last pick. There you go. I was thinking 190 was a little bit low. 224th overall. Let's go ahead and pick someone with an awesome name. Isaac Matsumoto. Doesn't that remind you of Sujimoto from our Saskatchewan franchise mode? There you go. Isaac, welcome to Quebec. I can't see what your overall is. I think I was 59, low top 9. But we got out of that draft, made a, not really a surprise move. I think people knew it was coming. Alexiak goes to Vegas. There you go. I think people knew it was coming. We're not going to be able to keep this core together, and I'm actually concerned that we are not going to be able to keep still some players off of our team together. So let me go ahead and sign everyone here. We should be good to go, actually. I can do all the AHL stuff in the off season. So let me go ahead and see how the hell I'm going to get this all done. I'll keep you guys updated. Okay, so I'm going to take this a little bit slower, and oh, wait a minute, Matthew Barzal. Okay, I'll come back to this, but I'm going to take it a little bit slower because I don't want to spend too much money and then not have enough money for players who still have to sign. So Matthew Barzal, he says, I'm going to reject this dollar value. I'm not too happy with being on the team anymore. I think it might be time to go Matthew! Would have been nice to know before I traded Mitch Marner. Are you kidding me? Matthew Barzal. Buddy, what the hell? Morgan Riley, I'm not happy here, and this team is something I don't want to be a part of anymore. We're falling apart. What the hell? Okay, Lubomir Mahalik and Lucas Raymond both signed, which is nice, but two of our huge pieces, they don't want to be, you just want a Stanley Cup, brother. What do you mean you don't want to be here anymore? Okay, so we're down to 31 million. Let's get the goalies taken care of. The goalies are a whole nother topic here, but let me go ahead and sign these guys, and then I'll talk about what the hell we're gonna do. Fortunately, our goalies are gonna be relatively cheap. Oh boy, I hope so anyways. That's still like almost $8 million right there. So let's see if they sign. And then we got to worry about Morgan Riley and frickin' Matthew Barzal. What the hell? Okay, Askarov doesn't like that kind of money. Or does Tucker Tynan. Oh my god, these guys want to get paid. I mean, it's understandable. They just want a Stanley Cup, but I'm just going to give them what they want. Jesus, this is making it difficult. Okay, so both goalies are good to go. I just gave them what they wanted. I know having like $8.5 million tied up in your goalies isn't ideal, but Matthew Barzal and Morgan Riley. So Morgan Riley did drop his offer. He wanted a 13.2. Now it's 12.5. I offered him 12. He said, hell no. So we got to figure out what the hell we're going to do, because we still have all these players to re-sign. We could have a very different looking team coming up very soon here. Okay, let me get Arthur Kaliev signed, Nick Suzuki, and I think we're going to let Brady Shea walk. But look at Nick Suzuki. He wants 5.6. It's a lot for, actually he's not going to be a third line center anymore, probably going to be a second line center to be honest with you, because Conrad and Barzal are probably going to play on the first line. Well, hopefully Barzal comes back, so I think we're going to slot in Nick Suzuki as our second line center. I mean, he did have over 50 points this year, so he is worth it. I really hope he's going to take $5 million. I really hope he'll take that. 5.2, there you go. So even that, with everyone signed, that's no Brady Shea. Oh, I forgot to trade Jesper Bratt. Shit. I knew I was missing something. I was like, there's someone I have to trade. It's not Ty Smith, not Helm, it's Jesper Bratt. Okay, that's $6 million that I'm gonna have to deal. Shit, I forgot about that. Oh, there's so much going on. Okay, so that clears up $6 million. Still, though, there's still lots to do. So maybe we're going to have to ride this into the offseason. I'd love to get Matthew Barzal signed. What's it going to take, man? Come on, don't be like that. 11.9? Let's go with that. All right, 11.9. Maybe he signs, hopefully. We don't have a lot of cap left. Like, geez, are we going to be able to sign Morgan Riley? This is scary. Nick Suzuki, he says no at 5.2. Matthew Barzal says yes. Okay, so Barzal's good to go. Kaliev was relatively cheap, which is nice. So what do we have now? $9 million. We can't afford to keep Morgan Riley. We're going to have to say goodbye to Mo. We're going to go Nasty Nas, Lindholm. God, our defense is going to take a huge hit here. Let me write down the defense here. We might have to sign some players in free agency, or we could trade Jesper Bratt, and then hopefully Morgan Riley is going to come back down to earth and maybe only want 10 in free agency. Maybe, potentially. Let me write out the team here, and then I'm going to see what holes we're missing. Oh man, how the hell are we going to do this? We're going to see a lot of players be gone, I think, unfortunately. But I am going to sign Niittymaki right now, obviously. Okay, so I'm going to go one more day here. Hopefully, I know I got to re-sign some players here. Niittymaki says yes, obviously, thank God. Tom Wilson, he's gone. He doesn't want to be here either. I'm not going to force players to be here. So I just offered him a contract. He was kind of the last piece on our team. Unfortunately, he says he doesn't want to be a part of the squad. Okay. So Tom Wilson, maybe we'll revisit it in free agency, but right now we're going to release you. We have $9.5 million to work with, and here's kind of what the team looks like. Now that Wilson's gone, we're going to have to move up, maybe bring up Coe. I don't know what we're going to do, guys. I mean, Brady Shea, what does he want? If I sign Brady Shea and Nick Suzuki, that's more cap than I even have right now. So I think Nick Suzuki's probably the most important part. Let's go ahead and give him the 5.6. That cuts a lot of our cap in half. Ty Smith, we're going to have to say goodbye to. I am going to qualify him because I want to see if I'm going to get any offers. Maybe someone's going to give me a first for him. That'd be fantastic. But there's a few things we have to do. This is not ideal, but with Stanley Cup teams, I mean, these things happen. So Nick Suzuki is good to go. All right, so this is kind of a downer episode here. I didn't think it would be this dark. We have $4.7 million, and Morgan Riley, he wants a ton of money. But, but, does anyone see this? But we got ourselves Tommy Robitaille, medium franchise defenseman. Okay, this guy's obviously from the LA Kings. He's like, I do not want to play in Los Angeles anymore. Get me the hell out of here. I mean, Sidney Crosby, Cale Makar. Okay, if we're going to be realistic about this here, realistically speaking, we don't need Robitaille. We have that in Nasty Nas. But if I could go grab Cale Makar for $6 million. Are you kidding me? That is a steal and a half. Okay, this guy should be our guy. And I know there's so many players in free agency, but I just think we got to move on from Morgan Riley. I just can't see us in a world keeping a player like Morgan Riley. In a cap world, there's just absolutely no way in hell we can hang on to a guy like Mo. So I'm going to have to get the thumbnail changed. I think we're going to put it to Barzal, maybe? Does Barzal get on there? I I don't know. He's kind of the only player with a face. Everyone else is either like new or created. So maybe I'll get the guy to change it over to Matthew Barzal. But Cale Makar, I think without question, we should be going to get him. But right now, what I'm going to do before anything is just go trade Jesper Bratt for a first or whatever I can get, because that's going to make us have about $10 million to work with, which makes it a little bit better. So let me go ahead here and get all that done. I got to go ahead and trade him. It's going to be a pretty easy deal. Let's go do it. So unfortunately, Jesper Bratt's trade value is really, really low. He's making a lot of money. We're just going to go ahead and send him away for a second. I can't get a first from anyone. Give me a second and maybe a prospect. Maybe. Can I squeak that out? Just someone just good for the American Hockey League. Like, there you go. 74 overall, 21 years old. Backus. Will that go through, or is that too much? Trade rejected. All right. Maybe just give me the second. Whatever. Trade accepted. There you go. We get a cap relief. We get a second. It is what it is. Now I think it's Cale Makar time. Now I can see where there's a world where this isn't going to work because there's 3 other teams interested. But if I offer you $7 million over the next 6 years, will you become a Quebec Nordique, Cale Makar? Will you do it? 26 years old, offensive defenseman. I mean, just before I signed that contract, I thought I'd look at his stats. He's an offensive defenseman. It's a lot of money for only 4 goals, but maybe if we put him on a stud back end, I don't know if they had that over there in Colorado, or this Nason guy, but I mean, if I could spend the exact same amount, less money, to get someone who's 88 overall, I'm definitely going to do that. Or we could go... And I mean, these 2 guys are just untouchable at this point. So honestly, Cale Makar is kind of the best option. Yes, we said goodbye to Brady Shea. We could go get Jacob Trouba, who's 31 years old, might produce a little more points. But I mean, Cale Makar is young. He's still medium elite. I want to see what this guy's all about. We're going to go ahead and offer him. A part of me really wants to go like this and offer him like $7 million for 3 years. A part of me really wants to do that, but also a part of me thinks he won't sign for that. But maybe this will be smart. In 3 years, he'll be 29. If he has 3 really strong years with Quebec, who knows what can happen. I'm offering him $1 million more than what he originally wanted. Ryan Merkley's out there as well. He's actually an RFA. But all right, what do we have to do here? Tom Wilson's looking to cash in $5 million. Unfortunately, we just could not pay that up. I really hope someone offer sheets Ty Smith. It looks like there's 1 team interested already, and it is the never mind. Other teams interested? No, but teams interested, it says 1. Maybe it's us because I tender qualified him, but we're not gonna be able to sign basically anyone else. Oh my God, Patrick Kane's all the way down here. Jesus, I can already see the comments. Sign Kane, sign Kane. We just don't have enough money. And actually, our offense is basically set now that we have Matthew Barzal back. So let's go ahead here and see if Cale Makar is going to sign. Our defense is looking a little bit weak, but I mean, that's the price you got to pay, man. We're Stanley Cup champions right now. And that's just a trade-off, though. We won a Stanley Cup. Unfortunately, we can't keep some players we won that Stanley Cup with, but Cale Makar is good to go for 3 years, baby. Multiple morale changes for signing Cale Makar, and we still have $3.8 million. Now you can see, man, if Morgan Riley, if he signs in like Montreal or Ottawa, I'm going to be furious. Now we have $3.8 million to work with. Now what is that going to get us? I could really use, I mean, that could get us a Patrick Kane. Could it? Where is he? No, he wants a little bit too much. That's unfortunate. I was going to say we could bump everyone down 1 spot and get Patty Kane, but I'm going to need another defenseman, but with $3.8 million, it's really not looking that great. Sami Niku, Brendan Gooley, Kristen Juice, all these guys are lower end, but unfortunately I think that's kind of the barrel we're going to be shooting in, because right now our defense is going to be looking like Nasty Nas, Makar, Lindholm, Nitamaki, Poirier, and X. Who's the X? We need another defenseman. Is there someone in the pipeline coming up? Let's see. Yeah, so right now we only have 5 defensemen under contract. Is there anyone in the system? I mean, Ty Smith, but is he worth the $3 million? I think he wants more than that, actually. No, he wants exactly 3.8. Rafkin, so there's some guys out there, but I think we're going to move on from Ty Smith. I mean, he wants 3.8. I'd love to see if I could get someone else. I think we're going to move on, though. So here's everyone that we can get. I mean, getting Ty Smith might not be a terrible option, actually. He's kind of the best available, and he's going to play with Jeremy Poirier. You know what, actually, I think we should pay the extra $800,000 and get an 83 overall. I'd rather have Ty Smith than Brendan Gooley. So we're going to go ahead and sign Ty Smith. Hopefully he signs for the 3.8 because that's literally all I have. I can't give him a penny more, so let's see what he does. Oh, wait, I'm so dumb. It's only saying 3.8 because that's all I have. He wants 4.9. That's never going to work. Okay, back to the drawing board. Hopefully he gets an offer sheet, or we'll just trade him for a pick, but looks like I'm going to have to settle for a guy like Brendan Gooley, unfortunately. I'm just looking at maybe a potential trade as opposed to signing someone in free agency, and you can see even like 83s, they're making 4.9. That's kind of like the going rate. There's a lot of defensemen making a lot of money. A lot of teams actually don't have a lot of defensemen, so things are looking bleak here in the defenseman market. Tobias Bjornfort, he might not be bad to go get. He's young. I know he's really good in real life, but is that a good player to go get? He can play with Jeremy Poirier. I don't know what to do, but Drew Doughty's getting paid $11 million at an 83 overall. Yikes. All right, so I've been sitting here for like 15 minutes looking around the league. Who the hell are we going to trade for? All these defensemen are making way too much money, but you look at big bad Nikita Zadorov making 2.5 milli. He's a giant dude, 6'5", 230. He replaces that physical presence that we lost when we unfortunately lost out with Tom Wilson. He wanted to go elsewhere. So Nikita Zadorov, he's a good shutdown defenseman, going to play with Poirier. We're going to see if we can get him for a second and Scarlett. I've tried this trade with a third and a bunch of prospects. They said no. Let me see if I can throw a second at them. Ottawa, will you take this? Trade rejected. You can see the trade value is in our favor. They still don't want to go with it. Sorry, it's in their favor. They still don't want to go with it. A second, a fourth, and a fifth? I'm tired of this. Just give me a defenseman. There you go. Thank you. All right, so we're good. Let's go to the start of the regular season. There's a lot of different faces on the team. I know it's kind of shocking. Matt Duchene, this is not what I need right now. Not what I need. I'm hoping someone offer sheets Ty Smith. We're getting some offers for Ty Smith, but I can't take on that extra cap. Send me prospects for Ty Smith. Come on. We're getting really close to the start of the year and no offers for Ty Smith. So we might just have to trade his rights at this point. I was really hoping he was going to get offer sheeted, and with that kind of cap, it probably would have been a first, but unfortunately, I think we're just going to have to trade his rights. Nothing's going to change here. Nasty Nas with the A, Barzell and Conrad, even though we had to give Barzell just exactly what he wants, and which is understandable. He's brought a Stanley Cup here. That was kind of my fault for lowballing him, but let's go ahead and before we check out the line, I guess we're just going to have to trade Ty Smith for whatever, I guess. Fine, let's do it. We're definitely not going to get a first. How about a second and a third for Ty Smith's rights? There you go. Trade accepted. Things you love to see. We're helping out Long Island after we stole Matthew Barzell from them. But here we go. Let's have a look at the lines and let's see what we are working with. Obviously, I'm going to have to change some things up, but right off the bat, it doesn't look that bad. All right, so let's start with the scratches. Ryan Suzuki and the Rolo Man. Those are two guys who are scratched, so I don't think they're going to be in the lineup, and it sucks because Ryan Suzuki is a Stanley Cup champion, and he actually played pretty damn good for us. He had 31 points in the regular season. I kind of think he has to play. Oh, man, that sucks. I don't know what I'm going to do, actually. And then playoff stats, he had 7 points. He played really, really well. So let's see who's taking his place. Well, it's a fan favorite, and it is Brendan Coe, who's 79 overall. He's ready to I mean, he's basically in the same position. You guys can let me know in the comments what I should do. I don't want to bury Brendan Coe because I think he does have some potential, and he does bring that big physical presence that we don't have with the lack of Tom Wilson. So I think for right now, Brendan Coe does get the lineup spot. So then Quinn Reitz, he goes ahead and hops in, former first-round pick. He finally makes the squad. He's got 85 faceoffs, which is awesome. And then Jake Virtanen. Now, Hoivanen is a center with 82 faceoffs, playoffs, but so was Connor Lockhart, the rookie. But I think I'm going to go ahead and do that. I changed some things around, and that does give it a +3, which is awesome. Spike Helm, Hoivanen, Lockhart, the Milkman, Nick Suzuki, and Arthur Kaliev, Lucas Raymond, Conrad Stastny, and Matty Barzal. +3, +3, +3, +1. That's awesome. Defensively, it's a bit of a different story. McCarr and McLeod. What if I did this? So that gives that a +3, which I like, but Niittymaki, that sucks that it's a -1. I don't want to overplay him, so technically I could do this. We'd go Makar and Zadorov, former teammates, obviously, in Colorado. Or what if I put Poirier up there? It still makes it an even rating. Let's do that. Let's play Zadorov with Niittymaki. Yeah, that looks good to me. That's fine, yeah. And then Makar, Poirier, Nasty Nas, Lindholm. And then between the pipes, it's still that big question, Askarov or Tucker Tynan. We're going to, again, do auto goalie rotations. Askarov is the better goalie on paper, but what Tucker Tynan did for us last year was absolutely ridiculous. And I don't think we can look past this. And you look at his stats, I mean, the numbers speak for himself. Do we trade Askarov? What the hell do we do? If we were to trade Askarov, where would we trade him? First order of business is, where did Sidney Crosby sign? After almost 20 years with the Pittsburgh Penguins, he signs with the Dallas Stars. All right, there you go. And yes, we do have a Crosby, but Sid goes to Dallas. Okay, interesting. I guess they lost out on Jamie Benn. Now they have Sidney Crosby. Now we'll have a look at Tommy Robitaille. He was with Los Angeles, and now he's staying in the state of California. However, he's going to Anaheim. Okay, we'll have to check out the Ducks roster as well. So they now have 2 franchise players with Correa and Robitaille, and then the one that's gonna hurt. Yes, the one that's going to hurt, Morgan Rielly. I swear to God, if Morgan Rielly signed with Montreal, I'm going to lose it. Where did he go? He signs with the Islanders. Oh man, they get the last laugh. They get rid of Matthew Barzal, but they get Morgan Rielly. 10.4. He took $2.5 million less. All right. Okay, Morgan Rielly. Good luck in Long Island. Jeez. All right, so let's quickly have a look here at those 3 big players in free agency. Obviously, the Ducks got the big fish in Tommy Robitaille. They saw him a lot in Los Angeles, and they decided to pay him. What did he get? $11 million. He got more than he asked for. All right, moving on to the Dallas Stars. Sidney Crosby joins Tyler Seguin and Vince Modano. There you go. Not bad. They also signed Don't Be Sod 20. And since we're here, actually, let's have a look at, oh my God, look what we've done. We've created a monster. Look at this team. Okay, Marner, Sakic, Heischer, Hall, Hughes, Aturati. Okay, and there's their defense. So yeah, we circle the game against the New Jersey Devils on the calendar, please. And then for the New York Islanders, here's how they're looking with Morgan Rielly and Ty Smith, actually, for that matter. So there you go, a couple of former teammates hanging out in Long Island. All right, speaking of circle the game on the calendar, we have a game against Winnipeg, which I want to go into the simulation right away. I want to see if they're going to raise a banner or anything like that. I've never checked that out before. And then we have the Ottawa Senators, and then, of course, we have the New Jersey Devils. So then, obviously, we're just going to quit out really quick. I just want to see if they have any sort of pregame ceremony or anything like that, and then it'll just simulate the rest of the game. It'd be cool to see, like, a Stanley Cup banner. Let's have a look. So I don't know if there's anything planned here, but have a look at the boys. There's Yaroslav Askarov. He's getting the start, it looks like, even though I put Tucker Tynan as the starter. Connor Hellebuck. I don't think those stats are right at all. Unfortunately, there's no banner raising, it looks like. Oh, that's kind of disappointing. It's our first home game. Come on, there's got to be some sort of thing that says we won the Stanley Cup. That's kind of silly. Well, hopefully we can get a W in game number 1. Leave it up to the simulation gods. Let's have a look here. How do we do? The banner is raised, and we actually win 4-2. Things you love to see. Now up against the Ottawa Senators, they're 2-0. We know this battle goes back and forth, back and forth. We got the last laugh last year. That's hard to say. The last laugh last year? The last laugh last year. Okay, there you go. Spit it out. We got the last laugh, and so does Lucas Raymond scoring a big goal on the first shot of the game, period number 1. And it's 2-2. Arthur freaking Kaliev, King Arthur, Valery Chubby-Chubasov, Connor Brown, and Lucas Raymond, period number 2. All right, baby, 4-2. Conrad and the Milkman. Conrad's off to a hot start. He's got goals in his first 2 games. Looking to pour it on here. 32-20 are the shots. Jake Virtanen on the power play. Okay, I'm going to have to edit up the power play lines here. I forgot to do that. I don't know why Virtanen's on the power play, but he's scoring like he should be on the power play. 2 goals in the third period. Do I smell a third period hat trick for fun? Doesn't look like it, but we beat the Ottawa Senators 6-2. There you go. No longer are you undefeated. And just for fun, while we're here, let's go ahead and say what's up to the New Jersey Devils and Mitch freaking Marner. Philip Deneau, he's back in Montreal, and unfortunately, we're going to say no. All right, we're at home here. Mitch Marner, he's a fan favorite. There's tons of Marner jerseys in the crowd. A standing ovation before the game for Mitch Marner. Welcome back. Your time was short, but it was definitely meaningful. Flash that Stanley Cup ring when you want, but you are a member of New Jersey now. We've moved on. It'd be a great time for Niedermacki to get his first. Who knows? Maybe he scored in game number 1. I don't know. Period number 1. And it's 1-0. It's Quinn Wrights. There you go. That could be his first. Scores on Tristan Jarry. Fun fact, my fiance went to school with Tristan Jarry. Period number 2. Okay, 2-2. Conrad, he gets 1. Goals in back-to-back-to-back. Gusev and Zane Sakic. So nothing from Mitch Marner yet. And we did start Askarov once again. Come on, boys. Come on. Going. Oh, my God. Shane Wright, he scores on Askarov, making it 3-2 with 13 minutes left. Can we find it in us to get one more? Can we tie up the hockey game here? King Arthur with a big goal. Coe on the 4th line, maybe? Jake Virtanen? Someone? There you go. The Milkman. He comes through huge with a massive goal. Are we going into a shootout? Oh, man. This video is already long as hell, but Mitch Marner in the shootout, I gotta do it. All right, starting the shootout off, it's Jack Hughes coming in slow, and that glove side was wide open. He takes advantage. Here comes Conrad, though. He's at a hot stick of late. 1-on-1. Oh, my God. He pops the water bottle. See you later. He's unstoppable. What a start to the year. Mitch Marner on his old buddy Askarov, and he beats him the exact same side that Jack Hughes does. Is that the book on him? Here comes Matty Barzal. A couple of moves, and he was a little bit too tight there. We need a big save here on Nico Hischier. Come on, Askarov. There you go. Big, giant poke check. Things you love to see. Lucas Raymond, he's got to score or it's all over. Couple of moves. Went through your legs in tight. I don't know about that one, but we dropped the game against the New Jersey Devils. Unfortunately, but you know what? Take a positive from that game. We tied it up late with the Milkman's goal, and we got that extra point. That could be the point that we need. Who knows? So that's going to be it for this one, guys. Kind of a crazy episode. I know the team kind of fell apart there, but again, I can say it a million times. You win Stanley Cups, and but again, I can say it a million times. Sometimes, you win Stanley Cups and those teams don't stay together forever. History shows it. We have multiple players over a point per game. Niedermacki did score in his NHL debut. He's got a goal and a helper. Cale Makar's got 2. Everyone's playing pretty damn good. Everyone's got a point except for Nasty Nas and Hoivanen. That will come. No worries. Just for fun, let's have a look here at the entire league. Yzerman, Alfredson, Hull, Tarasenko. There you go. Drew Doughty making $11 million. There you are. And now the big question, the goaltenders. What do we do? For some reason, Askarov got both the starts, even though I put Tucker Tynan up there. So you guys can let me know in the comments. We kind of have an interesting situation here, I guess I would say. I wouldn't mind getting another top 4 defenseman, but we don't really have the cap. But I guess if we trade Askarov, that's going to be $4 million off the books. It's something we can think about, but I'd love to get Tucker Tynan into some starts. Thanks for watching, guys, and I will see you in the next one.